because this is my only shot at becoming the absolute best 93 kilo lifter in the world. This is it. This is the last stand, so to speak. And I intend to give every ounce of my being into this. YouTube, we're back. All right, guys. So first of all, thank you so much for your patience. I know it has been a very, very long time, too long of a time, but we're finally back and we have a system to stay consistent as well, which I'm really, really excited about. But I'm going to let that show up for itself as the next couple weeks go on, as the next couple months go on. I'm just really excited to finally be back on this platform and be here to stay, so to speak. But without further ado, I really just want to dive into the meat and potatoes of the content for today. This is really just going to be a training update, a life update, especially as it relates to my competition schedule. So yeah, man, let's just dive right into it. As some of you may know, the most recent meet I competed in was Powerlifting America Nationals. That was about 5 weeks after the second Sheffield that we did. I believe that was back in February, which is crazy how fast time is flying. But obviously we had done really well at Sheffield, but we still needed to compete at Nationals to earn our spot on the US Worlds team. And we made the trip. Man, dude, like prep was going super, super well. I was probably the strongest I'd ever been. However, we missed weight. And in the sport of powerlifting, when you miss weight, you cannot compete in the weight class that you were registered for, obviously, right? And so I did still make the choice to compete. I'm very grateful I did. It was a hard decision to make, especially in those moments. You know, you put so much into your preparation. There's so much riding on your performance, and to not even have the opportunity to compete because of your own mistakes, or your own lack of due diligence, it's tough, man. It's a tough pill to swallow, but it is what it is. You know, we showed up to do something, and so we did it. And so we still competed. We did really well. We totaled 895, almost totaled over 900. Yeah, man. So long story short, we had missed weight. We still competed, did well, but unfortunately did not get our spot for Worlds. Now, this is the first World Championship that I will not be a part of in like 2 or 3 years, which is crazy to think about. 2021, I competed at the Junior World Championship in Sweden and we won. And then in 2022, I believe it was, we went to South Africa. We didn't win Worlds, but we were part of Open Worlds. And then 2023, again, we went to Malta. And I feel like every single time I've shown up to Worlds, we've come so much closer. We've gotten so much better, but we're just not there yet. And that's okay. You know, greatness takes time, but it also takes intention, and I intend to be great. And so that's something that, again, you have to see every adversity, every shortfall, every shortcoming as an opportunity to simply get better. And so that's what I've continued to do, or at least I try to do. And so anyway, it's pretty surreal to think that like this was the first Worlds that I was not going to be a part of. And it's weird as a spectator because, you know, being competitive on this level, not just that, but knowing in my bones that I was born to be the best at this level, it's tough to sit and watch people do what you do. People perform in a way that you know you could outperform. All of us athletes believe that, by the way. You know, this isn't something that's unique to me, but it is really strange seeing it, you know, as a spectator when I'm so used to being the one in front of the spectators, you know? And so I can't even say that it motivated me more because I'm as motivated as I've ever been. You know, I've never the dial has never really been turned down. And so either way though, I'm very excited to continue to prove myself and to earn my way back to that stage. It really just proved to me even more how much I truly do belong on that stage. And Worlds just wasn't the same without me, man. So so that said, let's talk about what's coming next. I am about 2 or 3 weeks out from the North Americans Championship. It's going to be held in Scottsdale, Arizona, I believe, August 8th. If you're watching this, definitely tune in. I believe I compete what would be like 4 p.m. Eastern or something like that. Not 100% sure. I'll definitely be announcing more of that information on my socials, so like Instagram especially. But I'm very excited for NAPFs, man, but at the same time, it's probably one of the biggest challenges I've ever had to face. And obviously the main reason being you can set world records at North American. So it is an international level meet. This is my first time doing this particular meet. And this is my only opportunity this year to do this. Potentially for a while even, for me to be able to set world records. This is the only shot I get now, and I will not take it for granted. I plan on taking full advantage of this opportunity. And as of right now, my goal is to break the squat world record, to break the total world record, and to use my performance not just as a signal to the world that I am the undisputed, absolute best 93 kilo lifter in the world, but to hopefully let it be enough to also earn my wildcard invite again for the third year in a row to the SBD Sheffield. This is my plan, and I'm being as honest and open and transparent about it as possible. I have nothing to hide. This is what I'm going for. This is the highest we can achieve right now as an athlete in the sport, is to aim to be the best, right? Is to break, not just actually honestly break, but crush the world record total, crush the world record squat. What more can I expect? And so, of course, naturally, I want to achieve the highest standard. And to me, this is the highest. This is what it looks like. I try to envision like what would be even greater than that. And there's really only one other thing that I could imagine being kind of like the next step, so to speak. And I'll mention that later on in the video. But yeah, to me, this is what greatness would mean. It would be breaking the world record, not just by, a chip, not just by half a pound. It'd be breaking the world record by such a large margin that people have no choice but to acknowledge the work, acknowledge the sacrifice, acknowledge the skill and the passion that has fueled my journey for the last several years. Because I come so close to being the best, and then I fall short by about an inch. And that just keeps happening and happening and happening. But again, man, I don't take it for granted. I'm so grateful for those opportunities, because that's what they are. They're opportunities. My job is to use those to get better. But remember, it's a choice. The power is in choice. Nobody's forcing me to do this. I get to lift for a living in a way, that's a beautiful thing. It's a privilege. And so it's up to me to make the choice, the conscious decision to get better as a result of adversity. And what's beautiful is all of us have that choice. No matter what your circumstances are, you have that choice. You have to live with intent. You have to live with that, knowing that you have the choice. And so, again, also in my opinion, who am I? If I look at you and tell you that you can be great, if I look at you and tell you that you can be the best in the world at what you do, who the fuck am I to say that when I haven't at least tried to do it myself, right? And so I have to lead by example. It's coming from the heart, man. I genuinely do believe that we were all born to be great, and my journey is meant to be like a testament of that, not just a testament of what I believe I'm capable of, but also a testament to the power of God's calling, and when you walk in your purpose, what that looks like. And it doesn't mean you're going to win all the time. That's not what this is about. It's the will, it's the spirit that continues to be unrelenting in the face of all evil, of all darkness, of all doubt, right? No matter what comes your way, you are prepared. You have the armor of God on, and you're ready. You're ready for war, you're ready for battle, and you continue to march forward, not just for yourself, but for those who stand beside you. And that's what this is about. And I truly mean that. Like, it really is that deep, right? Powerlifting championships, all this stuff, it doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. It's really more about who you're becoming in the process of having to achieve these things, right? And that's what this is about. And so because of that, there's depth. That's what matters. So anyway, that's the challenge of the NAPF. Because this is my only shot at becoming the absolute best 93 kilo lifter in the world. This is it. This is the last stand, so to speak. And I intend to give every ounce of my being into this. So, you know what? I'll up the ante a little bit. I'll tell you exactly what my plan is, because again, I really feel like I have nothing to hide, man. And I just always want to be as authentic as I can. So I'm gonna keep it 100, keep it real. So at the NAPF Championship, my plan is to total 900 kilos just on my second attempts. Then I plan on going for 923. I know it's a specific number, but it's a specific number for a very good reason. We're gonna go 923 on the thirds. I 100% believe I'm capable of this. And honestly, I know that this is like a little bit contrary to what other people may believe, but even though I had missed weight back at Nationals, the total that I put up at Nationals, I 100% believe I could have done it had I made weight. I know I could have. I'm not gonna get into the gory details of like all the water cuts and all the stuff I've done, and I'm just telling you, gotta trust me, I 100% could have done that had I even made weight. And so, Yeah, so I am 100% confident in my ability to make sure that we can not only solidify a world record total, but absolutely demolish the world record total. But the one thing that I think is really worth noting is the opportunity that could come from doing really, really well at NAPFs. The opportunity that I feel like I'm owed, that I owe to myself. And that is, of course, again, to earn my spot back at Sheffield, but to then cut down to the 83 kilo class and become the undisputed best 83 kilo lifter in the world on the biggest stage powerlifting has to offer to date. That's the plan, honestly. It's super daunting. It's super ambitious, I know. And a lot of people, and I would agree with you, a lot of people are probably thinking like, dude, man, you freaking didn't make weight at 93 at nationals. You think a year later you're going to make weight at 83 and be the best? Yes, I do. To me, that's the only thing that makes sense. If I can use NAPFs to become the absolute best 93 in the world, undisputed, because I crushed the world record total, and I have the world record squat, to me, what's next? Like, yeah, I could go compete at Worlds, but that's not for a minute. And I'd still have to earn my spot there anyway. So to me, the only thing that makes sense is to rise to an even greater challenge. Yeah, sure, we could push the ceiling in the 93s, but I've been doing that for a little while. And to be honest with you, it's just not as hard. Like, it's just not as difficult. I know that my time will come. All it will take is time because the work is being put in. I'm not concerned about that. So I need a greater challenge. And to me, what better challenge than to become a 2-weight class, undisputed champion? 2-weight class, undisputed, absolute best in the world. That's what I want. That's what I think would be special. And the beautiful thing is, I know I can do it. I know I can. So that's really what could happen if we do this well at NAPFs. And that's what's riding on this. And that's why I've poured so much of myself into this. But yeah, so that segues me beautifully, speaking of the weight cut or a potential drastic weight cut, into what comes next in terms of my body weight. This is probably like the elephant in the room right now. A lot of people don't even know if I'm going to be able to make weight at NAPFs. Obviously, knock on wood, we're on the right track. So I've been cutting for a while. Pretty much right after nationals, I started my process. And I kind of just had to do like a clean house. I needed to step away from everything and just analyze everything that was going on. What were the systems that were leading me down the wrong path? And how could I change the input so we can change the output, so to speak? And so essentially what I did was I started using the Carbon Diet Coach app. It's really simple, really easy to use. And that got me kickstarted really well. It basically is almost like an AI nutrition coach. I knew that really all I needed to do was just optimize my nutrition, clean up the foods, and obviously decrease total caloric intake. That's really all I needed to do. And however which way I wanted to manipulate the equation, it didn't really matter as long as we got that desired outcome we needed, which was the weight loss. My weight loss has been extraordinarily slow. I lose like half a pound at best per week, which is ridiculously slow. But the benefit is I think I've held on to all of my muscle and all of my strength. So that's huge, especially because I need to hold on to all of my muscle and all my strength if I want to still be competitive despite my cut. And so, yeah, so I've been floating around, I want to say 208 to 210 in pounds. I think that's like maybe 95 kilos, 95.5 kilos. And we're on track, man. Originally, my goal, truthfully, was to cut down to about 206, 207, and then be able to carb up a little bit, starting from about 2 weeks out from the meet. And then we'll have our typical water cut, gut cut, and hopefully it works this time. And, we'll be able to make weight super, super easy, having carved up going into the meet. I'm thinking instead we're going to stay where we are, not induce more stress on the body, not up cardio or anything like that. And instead we're just going to keep riding the wave. We're in a good spot. We can absolutely make weight from this point, or at least it should be extremely feasible. To put it into perspective, the weight that I had gotten down to at nationals was about the weight I'm at now from the water cut. So I've lost about, I want to say maybe 7 pounds, 8 pounds so far. And so we're in a really good spot. And I think that just this alone being a variable that I don't necessarily have to stress about anymore is going to do wonders. If you know how I've had to compete the past like 3 or 4 meets, I mean, it's insane, dude. Like I would have to weigh in like a half hour before lifting even starts, and just having sat in the sauna for like 6-7 hours that morning. I mean, just absolutely brutal stuff. And to be able to still perform the way that we had, I mean, that's him, that's not me. But either way, you have to persevere, right? And so the fact that we were able to do that means that when we show up and we are actually in tune and we make weight easy and we feel good, We don't have to sit in a sauna for hours and hours and hours and put all that stress on ourselves. And all. Dude, man, I really feel like we're just going to knock this out of the park. We're absolutely going to crush this competition. So yeah, the little secret goal that I was referring to earlier, in terms of what I think I could add to this little challenge of mine that would make it even more special, is if I did all of this that I plan to do at NAPFs at 90 kg and not 93. Now, I know the weight class is 93 kilos. However, as we know, across federations, right, untested and tested, we have to be very mindful of the fact that there is a 90 kilo class, and 920 kilos plus has been done at 90 kilos. And so to me, to be the ultimate, undisputed best 93 or 200 pound lifter, essentially, I kind of have to do that at 90 kilos. So I have to outperform the 93s and the 90s. And to me, that's what would solidify my legacy as the best. And so that is something I'm thinking about. I definitely think the cut can be made. I think it's totally possible. It would definitely add a little bit of a risk factor to it that may not be necessary just yet, but it's something I'm considering. So I just wanted to put that out there because I think that that's probably like the only other layer we could tack on, that secret layer that would make our performance that much more special. Again, assuming we can accomplish what we plan to, which again, of course, I do think we can do that. So yeah, so just to kind of rehash, my cut has been going well. I believe we'll be able to make weight. I've lost about 7 to 8 pounds now and have retained my strength, have retained my muscle. In fact, I do think I've gotten much stronger. My deadlifts are the best it's ever been. My squats are pretty much on par with what they've been. And my bench is probably the best it's ever been. So yeah, man, I really I see no signs of slowing down at this point. I was working with Kedrick for a really long time. He's a phenomenal nutrition coach. I just didn't need that level of coaching for a while. And so I decided to step back from that. It's not that he's, we had a falling out or he's a bad coach or nothing like that. I just knew that literally all I needed to do was just lose some freaking weight, dude. So I had to stop being a fat fuck, essentially. So it's not that hard to do that. I didn't think that was, going to require all of his energy and attention. And so that's why I had heard great things about the Carbon Diet app. And so that's why I just used that, and it worked really well. So now I kind of like off and on, I'm terrible at tracking. What really helped me was creating a system I can rely on when it comes to the food intake itself. So truthfully, what I do right now is, for the most part, I stick to lean meats, fish, eggs, yogurt, and the rest is all fruits and vegetables. The caveat is I can have as many fruits and vegetables as I want. All right, so I don't track really, but that's what I stick to. And even when it comes to like over consuming the fruit, I mean, it's really hard to eat 100 apples a day. And even if I did, I genuinely don't like nobody's getting fat off of fruits, veggies, and lean meat. Okay, it's just not happening, right? So that plus some increased cardio, we've been in a really good spot. I probably would have to be even more hyper specific, borderline anal about what I'm taking in if I do make that cut to 83. But for right now, I mean, this has worked perfectly. Again, my tracking is kind of like off and on, but yeah, I've just found something that works for me and I feel really good on it. I just have to prioritize, of course, my training, hydration, and nutrition, especially like around the session, like the literal timing of things. But outside of that, man, things have been really smooth. And like I said, I'm really excited to show you guys what all the hard work means, come 2-3 weeks from now. But yeah, so the last thing I want to let you guys know about is just a little update on the training app, which I have been working on for a very, very, very long time. I've come out with several iterations over the last few years, and just for me, I'm a perfectionist by nature, and unfortunately, perfection tends to be the enemy of progress, right? And so that's why it takes me so long to do shit. Even like the YouTube stuff, right? Like I've got John, the master videographer, right now helping me out. If I didn't have him, this wouldn't be happening right now because I want things to be really, really good, and if they can't be really, really good, then I don't want it, And so it's kind of like this weird all or nothing mentality, but if you guys know me, it is always all in on everything, right? And so, yeah, man, it's like if I can't be like super meticulous about everything and make sure it's the best it could be, to me, it's like, what's the point in even trying? What's the point in even doing it, right? So with the training app, though, I'm finally at a point where I'm really, really happy with what the UI will be, the user experience, the backend, the software, all that stuff. I've gone through so many hoops to get to this point, but I'm really proud of what we've built so far. And so within the next month, we will be launching the training app with a whole new website. We'll have a live Discord community. Tons of stuff going to be involved there. But in terms of the programs themselves, because really that's all that truly matters is the actual meat and potatoes of the content, we're going to be launching with at least 10 programs. Right now we have 11 inside the app. I'm looking to publish at least 12, I would say, at start, but you can only run so many programs at the same time, right? So I want to make sure you guys aren't completely bombarded with too many options. So we have several different categories. Power build, of course, naturally my favorite style of training. And then we have some strength focused stuff, all of your major powerlifting stuff. We do have a burn category, so it's going to be like more high volume stuff. And then I've got like a bunch of extras as well. So, things like bench only, legs only, upper back traps, like, all that kind of stuff. So lots of content. Lots of content to be looking forward to. And if you guys are not a part of the Burn Your Ships Collective on my Instagram, it's like this little kind of Instagram group, definitely join that because that's where I'm going to be announcing a lot of this stuff. I don't really do email marketing or anything like that. And the Discord isn't live just yet. So that's where I'm really going to be communicating to the guys and girls who are really, really focused and really intense on their training and really serious about getting to the next level. And so if you're not in that, definitely join that. I really do appreciate your guys' time today. Seriously. I know it's been a while since I've been on here, but genuinely, I'm still trying to figure it out. Every area of my life, man, I'm still trying to figure it out. The important thing, I think, is that the intentions are pure, the intentions are good. And I'm trying to be better. I'm just trying to be better in every area, better as an athlete, better as a business owner, better as a friend, a brother, a boyfriend. It's just all of the areas that I need to be better in. And that's what's important to me. And that's kind of why I do what I do, because honestly, the only reason why I'm on this journey is because there are people better than me who have inspired me to do this, and that started from when I was young, and so if I could be that for somebody, then amazing. But if nothing else, I need to, in a way, document what's going on, right? Because I need to know where I've been to help me inform myself of not only where I'm going, but how the fuck to get there, And so I'm really grateful that you guys are a part of this journey. Very excited. We've got a lot of stuff coming, and really excited for the consistency. With John's help, we're really going to make this work. So yeah, man, guys, thank you so much for watching. Catch you guys next time.